This news update is brought to you by...
It's gonna be a big blue summer.
The Big Blue Summer celebration with Flow is here. Make yours unforgettable. Sign up for big bundle savings. Build your essential bundle and save big money. Blow out the candles on Barbados' 50th and Flow's first Big Blue birthday celebration. To win big prizes including $10,000 in cash. Big-time sports coverage at home or on the go with Flow TV, like the Olympic Games in Rio and the new home of Premier League football. Watch it all with big data and big style on the fastest 4G network. The world's biggest sporting events this summer are all on Flow. The Big Blue Summer Celebration is here, and Flow is your official partner. This is how we flow.
It's gonna be a big blue summer. Get ready to go. This is how we flow. We wear the blue for the summer. Get ready to go. This is how we flow.
This is the Barbados Today afternoon news update for Thursday, July 21st. Thank you for joining us. I am Mary-Claire Williams. There are renewed calls for the passage of laws to allow teenage girls between 16 and 18 to access reproductive health care without their parents' consent. This time it's from youth advocate Tamara Rowe. She was speaking at a roundtable discussion this morning to commemorate World Population Day. Rowe also called for proper discussions on the issue for teenage girls.
There are hardly any easily accessible handbooks that are culturally representative of the Caribbean teenage girls. There's limited comprehensive sexuality education classes and sexual health programs within which we can be empowered, and not enough youth-friendly educators and youth advocates to impart accurate sexual and reproductive health information so that we are in the positions to make informed decisions and be aware of our rights.
Meanwhile, the UN Resident Coordinator Stephen O'Malley is also advocating for proper education for teenage girls to allow them to reach their full potential.
As the UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon noted in his World Population Day message, just when girls should be in school and imagining the possibilities ahead, too many are held back from pursuing their ambitions by social and cultural traps. While a boy's options and opportunities tend to expand when he becomes an adolescent, those of a girl often shrink. Half of all sexual assaults worldwide are committed against girls 15 and under. In developing countries, 1 in 3 girls is married before she reaches the age of 18. And globally, teenage girls are less likely than teenage boys to start and finish secondary school. Although we do know in the Caribbean that tends to be a difference. Rectifying these inequalities is critical to the success of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development.
A new praedial larceny bill is to go before Parliament by year-end as government seeks to crack down on worrying crop theft. That's according to Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture, Ellsworth Reid. However, Reid warned that legislation alone will not solve the problem, and he called on farmers whose livelihoods are directly threatened to also play their part in combating the agriculture menace. His comments came against the backdrop of recent criminal charges brought against at least 3 people on account of praedial larceny. In addition to stepped-up police patrols, some local farmers have also been forced to take matters into their own hands by employing private security to patrol their farms, particularly at night when crop thieves have been known to strike. The opposition Barbados Labour Party says this week's central bank report does not paint a pretty picture of the state of the economy. The central bank said the first half of this year recorded 1.3% growth compared to 0.5% in the corresponding period last year. But economist and BLP candidate for Christchurch East Central, Ryan Strawn, says there are a number of worrying trends.
The half-yearly review by the governor of the central bank has caused Barbadians great anxiety. We've seen from the report declining foreign reserves, increasing debt, more printing of money, essentially more of the same. This is a very sad situation which clearly reflects that the government's failure to manage the Barbados economy is now imminently evident. It is a clear demonstration of the failure of the fiscal and monetary policy. failure to generate activity to grow the economy, failure to meet their revenue targets, failure to do any meaningful expenditure cuts.
In sports, Jamaican sprint king Usain Bolt is supporting the ban on Russian athletes in this year's Olympics. It follows claims that the country ran a state-sponsored doping program. The Russian Olympic Committee and 68 athletes attempted to overturn the suspension, but the Court of Arbitration for Sport has ruled that the ban stands.
I always think if you cheated, I always feel like it's a good message to show that, listen, if you cheat or if you go against the rules, then we're going to take serious action. This will scare a lot of people or send a strong message to let you know that the sport is serious. We want to clean the sports up, so I definitely think so. I've been tested all the time. I've been there years upon years. I got tested this morning, so it's one of those things. So as you can see, IWF tests me all the time, the water tests me all the time, everybody tests me, so I have all the trust in my doctor and I support him 100%.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
The anticipation of greatness is in the air, and you won't want to miss a moment. At Courts, we have what you need to keep pace with all the excitement. Get the latest technology in TVs, computers, and mobile devices. Plus, shop today and win an all-inclusive trip for 4 to Universal Studios. And with Courts Ready Finance, you can get what you need now. So keep pace with all the latest technology. Only at Courts, bringing value home.
ICBL T20 Cricket Party, more than a match. To Gary's 80th birthday, celebrating the greatest all-rounder and our national hero. You can't beat that. July 28th, 6:30 p.m. Tickets from Kensington Oval, CS Pharmacy, and TicketPal.com. Hosted by the 50th Anniversary Secretariat.
We're back now with news from the region. St. Lucia's Prime Minister Alan Chasney has retracted his statements about the number of deportees from the United States. Earlier this month, Chasney said in a newspaper interview that as many as 800 deportees were being sent to St. Lucia each year. But he now says the number was inaccurate. He maintains, however, that the deportees are having an impact on criminal activity in Castries. We get more in this report from HTS News Force.
The comments sparked a media firestorm in the regional press. However, despite the apology, Prime Minister Chasney is not backing down on his stance on the overall impact of U.S. immigration policy.
The 800 number was a number that was given to me, and obviously it was not St. Lucia, but it was the OECS. And at no point did I make reference to it was in the last 5 years. The fact is, I said that there was a year in which there was as many as 800. And so I apologize for that error. I don't want that to be the issue at hand here when there is a much bigger issue at play, which is to deal with the security of St. Lucia. But the fact is that is deportees a problem? Yes. Has it been a problem before I came in as Prime Minister? Yes.
On July 13th, the U.S. government issued a stinging retort, citing numbers from the U.S. Department of State that seemingly disproved the Prime Minister's assertion, which also included concerns about security assistance. The U.S., in its rejoinder, also outlined development plans for the region that include U.S. $8.2 million earmarked for a joint U.S.-Canadian project to refurbish the regional security system air wing, and the State Department's Bureau of International Narcotics and Law plans on spending approximately U.S. $3.9 million on equipment, infrastructure upgrades, and law enforcement training to combat trafficking, enhance security, and strengthen justice systems in the Eastern Caribbean.
On the international scene, Indiana Governor Mike Pence has addressed the Republican National Congress, confirming his position as Donald Trump's running mate. Pence told supporters that their focus now is on change versus the status quo.
Americans can elect someone who literally personifies the failed establishment in Washington, D.C., or we can choose a leader who will fight every day to make America great again. It's change versus status quo. And my fellow Republicans, when Donald Trump becomes President of the United States of America, the change will be huge.
And the news coming to hand, police in Brazil have arrested several people suspected of planning terrorist attacks during the Olympics next month. And that's the news this afternoon. Remember, there's more on our website, www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, and like us on Facebook. We're on Izumi Media in bus terminals and Screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also tune into Channel 99 on Flow TV or Mix 96.9 FM for more news and sports. I am Mary Claire Williams. Good afternoon.